All right, quick one. This is currently the trending news on ground when you talk about football. Now, what is happening currently in Ghana is this. Now, when Ghana were playing for the qualifying series to the World Cup, we were playing qualifying games to the World Cup. Now, a lot of players were called. Those players that are playing in other clubs, good players that are playing in other countries, and their names are well known everywhere. Now, they were called to join in playing for the qualifying games. But most of these players did not honor the invitation. And then now, currently, Ghana have succeeded in qualifying for the World Cup. As of now, they are topping their group with 25 points. And it is sure and guaranteed that Ghana are moving to the World Cup. But now, according to the information reaching us, the Ghana Football Federation are talking about calling those players in diaspora, those good players that are playing all over the place, all over the world, that have been called already but did not honor the invitation. They are now saying they are going to call all those players to come play for the World Cup. And some of those players also are sending messages that they would like to play, in this coming World Cup. But the Ghana fans, the Ghana people are arguing, are protesting and grumbling and complaining that they don't want all those people to come to play in the World Cup since they didn't honor the invitation to play, the qualifying games, for the World Cup. Then there's no need for them to come play for the World Cup. And so currently the issue is still on ground as we speak, and it's being settled day in and out. There, we are still waiting to see more on how it's going to be finally settled, because most of the time this is how it always happens when they are playing for the qualifying games. Many players don't turn up, they don't come, they don't play for those games. But once it comes to the main World Cup or the main competition, they start coming in and say they want to play. And many of them, are really given the platform to play when they didn't even play for the qualifying games. And currently, that is the state of the football in Ghana currently. And the protesting is still on. The fans are still complaining that they want those people who honored the invitation to play, those home-based players who also played in the qualifying games. Those are the people they want to play in the World Cup. That they don't want all those players in diaspora who refuse to honor the invitation to come play in this coming World Cup. Then that's one. Then again, you and I know that next year is the World Cup, right? And every country are making preparations. Every country wants, to get the best, and they want to, try to lift up the World Cup. And so many countries are going to be sacking their managers, are going to be looking for all the players they know they can be able to use to get something out of the World Cup. And currently what is going on now is Sweden have reached out to Graham Potter as it is now, and they have let him know that, look, we want you to come coach our players in this for these qualifying games. Now, what is happening currently in Sweden is this. Sweden are currently in the last position in their group in this World Cup qualifying games. They are currently in the last point, that the last number 4. And even though they have players like Isak and Victor Gyökeres and also Gudmundsson, they are still the last position, and they have a lot of games to play, and they need to win a lot of games in order to qualify. So they need another coach. They need to try another coach in order to see if they can be able to qualify for the World Cup. And Graham Potter to them seems to be the best option currently. And who is Graham Potter? Graham Potter is the former manager of Chelsea Football Club, and also former coach to Brighton, and also currently just sacked from West Ham for poor performance the early of this season, because early of this season West Ham didn't really do that well, and so they have to sack their manager, who turned out to be Graham Potter. And Graham Potter, the 50-year-old England manager who started his coaching career 2011, starting to coach a small club called Östersund in Sweden, has currently been linked again to go and coach Sweden football players. That's this time around he's going to be coaching the football players in the country, not club anymore. And currently the issue is still on, and I think by now Graham Potter will be signing in as the new manager of Sweden Football Association. And so let us see how it goes. But the question is, are you sure that Graham Potter will be able to help the Sweden side to qualify for the World Cup? But you just let me know in the comment section. And currently the condition given to him is that your job is to help us to qualify for the World Cup. Now, if you do help us to qualify for the World Cup, then you will have to keep coaching and coach through the World Cup. But if you don't qualify for the World Cup, then you will have to drop the job and then leave that is the condition given to Graham Potter. It's a difficult task, and Graham Potter should then think of how to make sure he's equal to the task. Currently, that is that for Graham Potter. Then let us talk about Marcus Rashford. Now, Rashford, according to him, he said, I'm happy with Barcelona. I'm happy with the system here. I'm happy with the way things are going here. And then the Barcelona people are saying also, we are happy with Rashford. We are happy with how we have good relation and everything is going on well and all that. And so Barcelona are saying, I think we want to sign Rashford at the end of this season. Yes, currently that is the issue here. And they will have to meet the demand of 30 million euros in order for them to get Rashford to be their permanent player. But one thing you need to know is that it all depends on Manchester United, because according to the deal, Rashford has gone to Barcelona on a loan deal. And so if he performs well and keeps performing well, and which he is currently, Manchester United may decide to say, okay, we want our player back. We don't want to sell him again. We want him to come back to us and play for us. But if they don't want, also they can decide to say, okay, we don't want Rashford to come back. We want him to go, and then Rashford can end up signing in as Barca player, and so therefore remain a permanent player for Barcelona. But currently, the issue here is Barca are saying they want Rashford. They want to sign Rashford at the end of the season. Once his loan deal expires, they want to sign him as a player. And Rashford is happy that, yes, he wants to become a Barcelona permanent player, no longer on a loan. But currently, that is that for Rashford. Let us see how they go. The 7 years old England player is very happy with the way he's playing in Barcelona. And according to him, he would love to stay and be a Barcelona permanent player. Now that is that for Rashford. The question is, do you think that Manchester United will allow Rashford to sign as a Barcelona, player, or they will say they want him back to their squad? Well, let me know about that in the comment section. Then let's talk about Rasmund Højlund. Now, Rasmund Højlund currently is playing for the Napoli side and is having a good time. He's scoring goals, he's giving assists, and he's having a wonderful time there. But currently, according to the deal, Højlund is in Napoli, for a loan with an obligation to buy. So, which means the whole deal is around 50 million euros, and Napoli have succeeded in paying 6 million euros to the Manchester United side. Then the rest will be paid, the 44 will be paid at the end of the season. And currently, with the current performance of Rasmund Højlund in Napoli have made it clear that, look, we want to pay the money to get this player to be around. So currently, that means at the end of the season, Rashford is going to automatically become Napoli's permanent player, no longer on a loan. And according to Rashford himself, he said he's happy with the way things are going and he really wants to be a permanent player for Napoli. Now, initially, Højlund never said he wanted to be a permanent player for Napoli, but he wanted to go and then have a playing time. The World Cup is coming and everybody wants to play in the World Cup, and so he wants to have a playing time in Napoli. That's why he insisted on going on that loan. But currently now he wants to just become a permanent player for Napoli. Now, what do you think about that? Do you think that Manchester United will allow him to go because he's scoring goals currently and he's giving good assists and he's having a wonderful time? Do you think Manchester United will allow him to go, or they will say they want him back? Well, let me know in the comment section. Then again, let us talk about Zirkzee. Now, Zirkzee, the 24 years old Dutch player, currently is worried, even though he has made it clear that he loves Manchester United. He loves to remain at Manchester United, but he has said something that he would love to play in this World Cup. And then, if you must play in this World Cup, you have to have good playing time so that you can be able to improve, develop, show your talent and your skills and how far you can go. So that when they are calling people for the World Cup, they can call you to join for the World Cup. Because at the end of the day, World Cup is all about picking the best players that are playing well. And so Zirkzee is not having that good amount of playing time in Manchester United. We hardly see him play, and even if he comes in, he just play a little time and then he's taken away and all that. So he is talking about him not having a good playing time. But currently, West Ham are inquiring about the player. West Ham are saying they want Manchester United to look into it, that they would like to sign the player this January. But Xerxes, according to him, he wants to play for Manchester United, but he wants to be given a good playing time. So the question is, from the statement of Xerxes, it shows that by January, Xerxes might leave Manchester United to join West Ham, so he'll be having good playing time to develop himself and prepare himself so that when the time for World Cup comes, he can join to play for the World Cup. Currently, that is for Xerxes. Now, currently, that is all that we have for the game of football for the now. For the transfer, we are still moving on, we are still checking in, and once we have more information about the transfer stuff, we'll let you know currently. But I want to say thank you very much for following this channel, subscribe, and turn on the notification button so that you can get more of the transfer updates and football updates. Thank you very much. Bye.